Yo, what's going on, you guys? You already know my name is Strozier. It is Black History Month, so that means I am full of the exaggerated swagger of a black teen, even though I'm 20 years old now. But anyway, that is besides the point. You read the title, so the older I get, the more frustrated I get with Black History Month. And no, it's not because
all history matters,
but it's more so because of how the educational system approaches Black History Month. So here are 4 reasons why I don't like Black History Month, so please watch the whole video before you get mad. It always starts with slavery. American history acts like Africans were born into the transatlantic slave trade in 1619, which is totally not true. One day I was doing some digging, it was around the summertime, and I watched this video right here. And bro, there is so much information that I just absolutely did not know about. The different wars, the different conquerors, the different empires, some of these sculptures that we see, how they came out to be, a lot of African mythology. Like, there was so much more to impact than just slavery. When we learn world history, it always starts with like the Greek and Roman people in Europe, aka white people. And there's so much information about them. We have all these artifacts, all these paintings, all this stuff. It's like, how do you know that dude used to cut his toenails every Thursday? But when you actually do the research about the Roman Empire and stuff like that, a good chunk of the Roman Empire was in North Africa and the Middle East. So if a good chunk of the empire was in North Africa and the Middle East, that means it was very multicultural with North African, Semitic, West Asian, Latin, Greek people. Also, some of the architect that we credit the Roman people for actually came from Africa, more specifically the Egyptians. And also, I didn't realize Africa is a lot bigger than what you actually think it is. You could have a whole doctorate semester about African history before 1526. Because fun fact, a lot of people say that slavery started in 1619, but it actually started in 1526. You can do research about how those African people that were enslaved escaped. It's actually a really savage, interesting story, so go do your research about it. I just wish that the US did a better job at like world history, because right now world history is just white people history, because we don't know nothing about Africa, we don't learn nothing about what's going on in the Middle East, we don't learn nothing about what's going on in Asia, we don't learn stuff about what's going on in South America, we don't learn stuff about what's going on in the Native American land, which is America now, but before, like, there's just so much history that we just kind of just skim over. It's like, yeah, that didn't really happen. Let's just talk about Napoleon. We learned about the same 4 Negroes: George Washington Carver, Martin Luther King Jr., Harriet Tubman, and Rosa Parks. We really gotta stop acting like these are the only 4 Negroes in Black American history and or African history. And MLK wasn't all peace, love, and positivity as we make him out to seem. If you go listen to his other speeches, he was a very passionately angry person. There's an endless list of other Black people that we can learn about than them 4 Negroes. John Willis Minogue was the first Black person ever elected into Congress but was kicked out by white supremacists. Cathay Williams was literally the Black version of Mulan. Mansu Musa is the richest person in human existence. When you go look stuff up about him, they try to act like, oh, we couldn't really calculate it because it was long ago, but if his name was Mark Matthews, then they would know a lot more about him. Katherine Johnson contributed to putting a first man on the moon. Patricia Era Bath invented the laser cataract surgery. Cecil J. Williams is the definition of don't test my gangster. Marie Van Brittan Brown invented the home security system, which stops people from running up in your house. Shirley Ann Jackson invented the caller ID, which stops you from answering the phone when your boss calls you to come into work. I can't say that. Kehinde Wiley painted Obama's presidential portrait, and I also got to see one of his paintings in the museum in Raleigh, which is so lit. I want to see more of his stuff. And Nat Turner is the definition of the realest, never ignorant, getting goals accomplished out here in these streets. I'll let you decipher what that acronym stands for yourself. And the list really does go on to more recent people that I can name drop that we just don't learn about because white supremacists wrote history books. I mean, the Sad Black movies, The Help, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Blind Side, 12 Years a Slave, The Butler, Cool Runnings, Roots. Those movies either do nothing but highlight Black struggle or they highlight white saviorism, and those be the same movies that you are forced to watch in class, and then whenever someone says like a racial slur or they say the N-word, everybody that's not Black in your classroom looks at the Black person like, I know Black people know what I'm talking about. The reason why I like movies like Get Out, Black Panther, Us, Moonlight, and Into the Spider-Verse is because they have Black people in it, but they don't just sit there and highlight Black generational trauma or something like that. Now, they may highlight current Black social issues, but it's not just like, oh no, slavery. Kanye West once said,
it's like when you just see like all the slave movies, it's like, why you gotta keep reminding us about slavery?
There is a lot more to Black people and Black culture than problems. I just want to see Black people in movies that's not about Black struggle. That's all I'm trying to say. Black History Month should not exist. Wait, don't Don't go there with me yet. Don't, just hear me out. If world history was properly taught, we would not need Black History Month. American history now highlights the stuff that they want you to see. But if it was a true American history, it would highlight the actual events that did take place. It's frustrating that Black people in history are treated like a holiday per se. Holidays come once a year, and then after that, you don't really think about it too much. So it just needs to be incorporated into history normally. Now I know other minority groups are gonna be like, well, what about our history? What about the Hispanic, and what about Asian, and all the other groups of people that I can't think of right now? Yes, y'all too, but I'm talking about Black people right now. I just don't think that we should just dedicate 1 month or 1 day to highlight historical events that should be brought to our attention in the first place. I understand that, yes, the people that wrote history put what they want to be seen in there, but that doesn't make it right. I don't think that Black History Month will ever be done away with. I don't think it should be done away with, but I'm just saying that when the people of my generation get into these positions of power, they can change these curriculums to actually incorporate true history, things that actually happened, the very dark parts of history that we don't want to talk about. Not to say that I hate Black History Month, but I mean, there was a bit of a clickbaity title, but those are my little gripes that I have with Black History Month. Alright guys, this video is coming to an end. Shout out Target for this amazing shirt. This hitter looks just like me, don't it? Let me know what are some of your favorite Black historical figures that I might have or might have not named, or some ones that inspire you a lot, because I always love to learn. And as always, remember to stay productive and don't act stupid.
Grew up in the woods, 30 miles from the nearest college. Saw a pair of rebel flags, I'm not being parabolic. Parent teacher conference, they weren't okay with my swag. Wore the Malcolm X t-shirt with the AK on the back.